Guru Truth, nice to make your acquaintance. I think that we probably have a lot in common. I did make you a webcast just recently. It was 16 minutes long, which was way too long. And what I was trying to do was to compare notes with you about the abuse of power. The biggest thing that I'm witnessing with the abuse of power is a lot of times people will take the power that they have, their bigness, their greatness, their endowment of understanding, and instead of enriching and empowering people around them, they use it to overpower people and to come up over them and to basically like a vampire or a leech. They just suck the resources and suck the energy out of the person that they are overpowering. It's very very sad. It's very very hostile in its nature. But one thing about you know, having having power is you know, I have power. I have information. I have a title of director. I have a title of counselor. I have title of you know, teacher, and I have title of presentator or something that, you know, I go into places or people come into my office and I have power. I am in a power position, but the power that I possess is not to gratify me and my exalted ego, but my power is to empower the people around me, to enrich their life, to live a better life, to come out from underneath the loads of oppression and depression and anxieties and fear. And I use the power that has been endowed to me not to overtake somebody and to overpower them, but to empower them. I had a guy show up in my office last week, and he was just beside himself with anxiety, and he was making decisions based out of fear and out of, you know, running scared. And he ended up showing up in my office, and he had called the hospital, he had called different other agencies, he had tried to get the information that he wasn't getting. And so for some reason he ended up in my office. And when I talked to him, we you know, unpacked what he was feeling and what he was going through, and I said, I'm your tour guide. You are on a journey. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but as a good tour guide, it's my job to show you all the avenues that you have, all the places that you can go, and we're going to lay them all out. We're going to flip them all over. We're going to examine them. We're going to look at them, and when we come to the end result, you're driving this buggy. Wherever you point this buggy is where you end up. I'm just your tour guide. No pressure on me, you know, no pressure on you. I'm not going to try to manipulate you. I'm not going to try to coerce you. I'm not going to try to get you what I think you should do or what I don't think you should do. All I'm going to do to you is empower you with information and to give you the best that I possibly can give you. And at the end of the hour and a half confrontation, I said, how do you feel? And he said, I feel like a load has just rolled off my back. And he walked out of my office just feeling like a different guy. And it wasn't that, and he walked out making the right decision too, which was kind of cool, because what happens is, you know, I'm not there to make the decisions for anyone. I'm there to empower people. And where you get someone that you know, out of fear or out of pride or out of anxiety, they want to take control of another person, and they want to dominate them, and they want them to do what they want them to do, and that is so wrong. I work in a agency. I'm a pro-life advocate, and I'm a crisis counselor. And when you get into these very highly emotional, very incredible chargedness of dynamics, you can get into some really funky people. And they come in and they, if a girl's pregnant, they've already figured out that they think she should adopt out and that that baby would be better off with somebody else. And not my counselors. That don't happen where I live. Because, I always tell them, hey, maybe so. But you're not the one that's calling the shots on this one. This is not your baby to make any decisions about. Whatever decision this child makes, she's going to make and she's going to live with for the rest of her life. And to realize that a 15-year-old little girl is not always going to be a 15-year-old little girl. 5 years from now, she's going to be 20. 10 years from now, she's going to be 25. 20 years from now, she's going to be 35. And do you want her to look back in her life and look at you as the demon in her life that overpowered her and made one of the most incredible decisions that she would ever be having to be faced, and you are standing there making that decision for her? I don't think so. Because whatever decision that is being made, the person has to live with. And that's where you see the abuse of power, where people step in and they want to make the decision for the person. They don't want to allow that person to have a will or to have a desire or to have even an ability to make a wrong choice. I think we all learn from our mistakes, but if you're not allowed to make mistakes, then you're robotic into a person calling the shots. It might be perfect on the outside, but inside you're nothing. You are just a mechanic machine, just spinning the wheels and dancing to the drummer, and not being able to be who you really are. I tell people the only reason we could tell it's a diamond because it's got flaws in it. It's okay to be flaws. It's okay to be real. It's okay to have glitches and bumps, lumps, and whatever. It's all right. You have my permission to make mistakes. But you also have my permission to learn from your mistakes. Because if you don't make mistakes and you don't learn from those mistakes, you're destined to repeat the mistake. So the biggest thing with power is for us to empower people with the understanding and with the information and with the status that we may have. And that is the biggest issue, is to enrich and to enhance people's lives around us. Where we get into the problems is where the person has a inverted pyramid type of power. It's like this, and they're in the bottom right there, and everybody's there for them and their gratification and their wants and their desires, and it's the big I, little you, and it's not about community. It's about individuality, and it's about smear the queer and catch the ball and run with it, and hold on to it as long as you can, and it's a free for all, free for one, I guess. But it's a very interesting study, very interesting. When I get into the controlling aspect and the abuse of power, it's woven within the fabrics of all our societies, within our Western culture. It's industrialist age. It's everywhere and everything. It's not just the self-help groups. It's not just the religious occults. It's the one-on-one, husband, wife. It's the doctor, patient. It's the teacher, student. It's the politician and his constituents. It's the the governor and his city or his state. It's the leader, the leader of the nation and the people that he serves. And if it becomes twisted and demented, that his power is used to gratify him and his own ego and his own fears and his own wants and desires, it becomes abuse, and it becomes deadly. And that's what we need to keep our eyeball on. Hey, it's a pleasure talking with you, and I hope that we can compare notes. I'm positive that we probably have a lot of information to exchange. But you have a great day, Guru Tooth, and I'll talk to you later.